Hello, I'm making this video to compare the Grundig Satellit 750 to the Grundig 800 Millennium. Let's go over some of the features with this radio. So you have an earphone jack, line in, you have your bass, treble, volume controls, direct entry, memories, single sideband, FM stereo with headphones, delete for the memory, FM, medium wave, long wave, short wave, air, your time, your alarms, light/snooze, signal meter, uh, VFO. You have your fast slow for your step, so you can either do 5 kilohertz or 1 kilohertz. Your BFO for single sideband, squelch, RF gain, antenna attenuation, sleep, and power. On the back here, or on the side here, I should say, we have a jack for an external FM antenna and a jack for the shortwave antenna, and then a 500 ohm port for shortwave. They use BNC connectors up here, and that's what I have connected to it. It's a BNC to SMA adapter, which comes with the MLA 30 Plus antenna. So I actually didn't need to buy that. That just came with the antenna. And there's the MLA 30 amplifier that goes out to the antenna, provides it with power, which I've connected there. The radio comes with these nice caps to cap off your BNC connectors. And on the back here, we have a battery compartment. This radio takes 4D batteries. Your line out is right here. It's right and left audio jack, a compartment for storing a power supply if you want, a rotatable medium wave and long wave antenna. It has a pretty good medium wave and long wave antenna compared to the 800. Now the 800 internal ferrite bar isn't that good. This one's a lot better, and it rotates. So, but yeah, reception wise, they're both comparable or comparable. They're very nice radios. However, I will say that this radio, while being designed a little bit more cheaply, does have a better medium wave and long wave reception with the internal antenna on top. But shortwave, FM, air bands are very similar. In fact, they're very, very much the same. Let's turn that on. So local AM station using the ferrite bar antenna, coming in pretty good. It's a weaker station, it's about 1 kilowatt. Let me have you listen to that real quick. Now let's try the other radio and see how it does. Now, little disclaimer here, the 800 Millennium is my favorite out of the two Grundigs, but I'm going to show you the one flaw with it. So let's go check that out. Here is the Grundig Satellit 800 Millennium. Before I get into all the ports in that, let's check out the reception. Here's the same station using the speaker wire antenna that I have connected in the back. Alright, now let's switch to the internal antenna. This is the internal antenna. As you can hear, it's much weaker. Alright, now let's switch back. As you can see, much better. Now let's talk about some of the ports of this video. So, besides reception on AM, this is the best of the two Grundigs in my opinion. The display is a lot nicer. It's very classy for a desktop model. I mean, the radio is giant, so there's that. It does have this nice map on top with all the time zones, your bands, and this nice label right here for what the radio is and what its functions are, which is nice. For the alarms and timers, you just have one switch, which is the timer, and you would use that to set what time you want the radio to turn on versus what time you want the radio to turn off. So there's no set time. You don't set it for 60 minutes or an hour, or set it to hit an alarm button and set the alarm for 8 a.m. You'd have to hit the timer, and you could do an on timer for it to turn on automatically, or you could do an off timer for it to turn off automatically. So if I wanted this radio to turn off at 1900 hours, I'd have to set that timer to turn off at exactly 1900 hours, and it will do it. I have tried it. It has memories. It has everything the Grundig Satellit 750 has, except this one also has an AGC control to control how fast your signal is fluctuating, and an AM sync, which is great for picking up weak stations. The 750 doesn't have that, unfortunately. In the back here, we have the line out, which is the same as the 750. It also has a speaker jack right there, an RCA connector. It also has your SL259 connector, which is nice. Your 500 ohm connector, which I use. A 75 ohm connector for an FM antenna, so you could use an old TV antenna for this. Your switches for your antennas, the switch in between them. Your battery compartment. This radio is kind of annoying with batteries because it takes like 6 D batteries, and you don't really have as much power with them, and they die really fast. So yeah, and there's your headphone jack. There is no line in like with the 750, but you know, I never use the line in, so it's not really that important. You have your handle on top to carry it, and your handles on the side. And overall, this is a nicely designed radio, and it's one of my favorites. This is the power supply, which I have going down here. It's the original. You can see there in the back. Very nice. So it's kind of like a laptop power supply to power this ginormous radio. It doesn't really fit on a normal desk, so if it is on your desk, it's probably the only radio on your desk, but overall it's an amazing radio. And the design is amazing. The speaker is much better than the 750. And overall, if I had to sit and listen to the radio for enjoyment, I'd prefer this one. The other one's just a little bit more practical because of the size. So there's that. I hope you enjoyed.